Now then, how you doing? I hope you're well. We stopped off at Old Hunstanton Beach at the back end of an East Anglian Tour recently and was not only blown away by the impressive multicoloured cliffs there, but also the rotting carcass of an old boat located right on the water's edge. Needless to say, what with all the cliffs and the rocks and now the bonus of a wreck, I just knew this would make a great line and wash painting. I'm in East Anglia. That's the far eastern area of the UK where the coastlines of Norfolk and Suffolk meet the North Sea. Its most notable feature, in my eyes, is the fact that it's generally quite flat. Coming from the north of England, that can be quite unsettling. There's a lot of sky in East Anglia. Along the northern coast of the area where the land curves into the wash, we discovered Hunstanton Beach. It's a pebbly beach with lots of interesting rocks, and it's overlooked by what can only be described as stripy cliffs. Stripy because they consist of several different layers of rock. Along their base, they appear warm brown, consisting of carstone, which is a type of sandstone. The top two chalk layers are formed from limestone. The white layer along the top was formed 66 million years ago in the Cretaceous period, while the middle layer is a dramatic looking red. Its colour coming from iron pigment and is the layer that contains the most fossils. The cliffs are nothing short of spectacular, and with all the rocks, this is definitely my kind of beach, but honestly, this is what caught my attention most of all. These are the remains of the steam trawler Sheraton, built in 1907 as a fishing vessel. The Sheraton was requisitioned by the Royal Navy in 1914 and again during World War II when it was armed with a 6-pounder gun and registered as an armed patrol vessel. Well, after the war, the boat was painted a bright yellow so that it could be used for target practice. It made a break for it in April 1947 when it broke from its anchorage off the coast in high winds and settled here on the beach at Old Hunstanton. A preliminary sketch is always a good way to explore a potential subject. This particular sketch began life as a simple line drawing, little more than a doodle really, which I then developed using grey markers. I like it because it enables me to identify the general distribution of tonal values within the scene, a valuable insight that I can carry over into the painting process. Drawing with an ink pen can be a little bit scary. Once it's on the paper, well, that's it. It can't be removed, or certainly not easily. So what's the best way of approaching it to avoid making any critical errors? Well, avoiding it might not be the best way to look at it. Minimising errors is probably a better approach. By that I mean that this is freehand drawing, so there will be errors. One just hopes they are not catastrophic. Ink can't be rubbed out with an eraser. That's simply the way it is. Applying lines with confidence will, I believe, always produce a better result than lines that are applied timidly. It's important to respect the medium, of course, but we shouldn't be afraid of it. After all, what's the worst that can happen? If it all goes horribly wrong, we should remind ourselves that in the end, it really is just marks on a sheet of paper. If necessary, pick yourself up, dust yourself down, and start again. Well, I know it's not that easy, and I know that when things do go wrong, it can have a terrible effect on our self-esteem, but we should also remind ourselves perhaps why we do this in the first place. Putting marks on paper, whether they be in pencil, ink, watercolour, or whatever medium we choose, is a tactile, pleasurable pursuit. That's the reason why we do it, because we enjoy it, or at least it should be. The dividing line between something being just right and overworked is painfully thin, as I'm sure anyone who paints in watercolour will know and recognise. One way in which we can prevent overworking is to walk away from the painting, preferably quite often. Well, that way we can hopefully force ourselves to see it with a fresh eye. The trick is to try and see it as others see it. So instead of beavering away for hours, I recommend taking regular breaks. Go make yourself a cup of tea or go for a walk. Whatever works for you, just distance yourself from the work from time to time. I guarantee it'll make a difference. watercolour, tone is relative. No matter how dark you apply watercolour, it always appears much lighter once it's dried. In watercolour, we work from light to dark, and that if we want to create really dark, intense tones, then we need to be prepared to work hard at it. If necessary, applying it and reapplying it multiple times over until we get the value we're looking for. Finally, I've swapped my brush for the ink pen so that I can indulge in a spot of noodling in the foreground. By noodling, I do of course just mean adding a smattering of small random textural details. This is, after all, a line and wash, so it seems fitting to round things off with a little bit of additional ink work. And I must say, on this occasion, ink is perfect for suggesting some of the old eroded surfaces of the ironwork. Mostly I'm just adding a spot of shading here and there in a hatching or cross-hatching fashion. I rather like the way it breaks up any smoothness created by the underlying watercolour washes, yet those washes are still visible and hopefully contributing to the overall effect. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, then you know the drill. Please do hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more, why not become a studio member of my YouTube channel? With that, you'll get instant access to the full-length, non-time-lapsed version of the demonstration from which this has just been a very small extract, along with a bursting back catalogue of full-length demonstrations and tutorials for you to get stuck into at any time. To subscribe, just hit that join button. There are other sign-up options also available, such as my online tuition service. If you're interested in any of that, you'll find full details in the video description below. And that's me done. Until the next time, do take care.